Hello, and welcome to Note by Note. This is Victor Perez, as usual. We are going to continue with this task of compositing without knowing what's going to happen, which is kind of fascinating for me. So, how are you guys doing in the chat? Say hi if you are there. I see that there are a few already commenting things. Hi everybody, and thank you for being here, supporting me. And talking about support, if you want to support this streaming, the best part that you can do is just hit the subscribe button and just attend this, because that is the whole point of doing this. It's just I want to show you what I have in here. So the rules are very simple. I'm just going to be comping shots, and maybe I'm just going to talk in the meantime and explaining what I'm going to do, just sharing the love for this beautiful theme. So, as usual, I would like to thank Foundry for sponsoring this session and for creating the most amazing compositing software in the world. So yeah, there are many others, and I know, and they are amazing, but Nuke is the best. For me, is the best. Even though, once said that, it's not up to the compositing software, it's up to the artist. So that's why we are here, and that's why I'm very grateful to Foundry for supporting this stream, because they are very committed to create this amazing community, and just support one each other. So last week we have a giveaway. So the winner of the giveaway last week for the Nuke Indie license is Christian Werner. So congratulations, Christian. You get a 1 year Nuke Indie license subscription. So yeah, Foundry will contact you. We'll give you all the details for your amazing license. Yeah, we have been talking about Nuke Indie for a long time, and I have been using it for almost, I don't remember, 9, 10 sessions. I still haven't found any of those limitations that everybody talk about. So if you find, again, just put it in the comments, because I still after 12 sessions, I don't know, 11, 12, I lost the count, honestly. Nobody's still telling me, even the people that won the license, are you guys using it? Do you find it useful? Is there anything that is bothering you? So yeah, well, thank you for the comments that you are putting. And yeah, thank you, Foundry, and congratulations once again, Christian. I hope you enjoy this license and you create amazing things. But that was not the only license I was giving away last week, because also we are just getting along with this. My other sponsor for this session, which is King Tools, which is, I mean, you know very well King Tools if you have been following the streaming, and if you don't, very bad. Get documented, because you are missing probably the best plugin out there. I'm not saying this because they are sponsoring. Of course, they are very good friends of mine, but honestly, it's really, really impressive. Let's face it, maybe it's a tool that you are not going to use every day if you are not working on a certain kind of task. But trust me, when you need it, it's going to save your life, because it's going to make this very, very, very easy. You have no idea how you did, I mean, how we did things before King Tools, and how King Tools had changed everything in how we approach the work for faces. Not only for faces, because they have also the other trackers, but for me the face bundle, the face builder and face tracker is really, really, really impressive. So they were very kind, and when they learned that I was going to talk about them in this streaming, they offer a license of their face bundle for one of the lucky attendants of last week. So who won that license? It was Julien Gotts. So congratulations, Julien. Yeah, you have a 1 year face bundle personal subscription. So it's like face builder and face tracker that you can use for your projects, and is the tool that I'm using in here. So yeah, that is all. We are not going to have a giveaway this week, but we are we're going to have surprises in the coming weeks. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it there. I mean, Foundry has been giving away 10 licenses of Nuke Indie so far. It's like that is already a lot. So yeah, I think it's already very generous of them. I hope you were not watching this streaming just because of the licenses. That would be me very sad, and I will cancel everything. I'm kidding. So I'm not going to cancel because I know there are many people that is watching this streaming after the streaming, so they are watching the recording, and I make it available for everybody. My joy in here is just that you get something and we have fun. It's like is for me it's a kind of a ritual just to get every week in here, just to change completely what I'm doing right now. I'm supervising the visual effects of a feature film. This is something I really enjoy, just going back to compositing where everything started. I started as a compositing after studying cinematography. So for me, compositing is the closest thing to cinematography in the visual effects. Of course, there are previs and but this thing of creating the final pixels and seeing the shot first in the light, that is amazing. So what else? So people in the chat, my love list. Let me read. Hello, hi, hola, ciao. So, well, thank you. Victor, you are the first and the last reason for watching the stream. Thank you very much for your kind words. Yeah, I'm very appreciated. So, if you want to support me, remember, just subscribe and watch the streams. We have already 10 published, so you are going to need to catch up. Is every time is a year. I mean, an hour and a half of compositing. So yeah. What else? I think if you want also to support me in a more strict, profitable way, you can just make me and help me just to get this every week. You can just, I don't want big sponsor from you guys. The only thing is, like, if you are enjoying this streaming, just buy me a coffee. So if you want to buy me a coffee, you have the link in here, and I'm going to put it also in the chat if you want to buy me a coffee. So it's just, any contribution is good. It's just for having fun. And if you don't, no worries. It's fine. I enjoy it the same. If you want to visit my social media and get in touch, so you have also in the chat my link tree. And yeah, let's go. Let's start with the theme of this week. So last week we were talking, and I promised you that there was a video about the creator of the Iron Man hat, okay? And I couldn't find it because I was trying to find in the wrong place. So the video was published by Foundry in the Foundry channel, of course. Let me just put the screen. Let me see if I can just get this, because of course. Very interesting. Yeah. Let me just check. Because it's doing, my beautiful computer is doing a bit of strange things lately. Okay, so I'm just going to need a second. Yeah, for some reason, it's not showing me the actual screen, because I am right now in the actual screen. So no, I'm still in the MacBook Pro. I will use the the Threadripper very, very soon. So this and this. Okay. And that is, let me just check the other so I can. So yeah, here you are. Subscribe. So let me check, because yeah, it's not displaying now. It's yeah, the things of the live. So here we are. Finally, we got it. So the name of the artist who created this is Dave Roach. So here you are. So first of all, let's pay the respect he deserves, because he created one of the coolest and most iconic, images from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is, the Iron Man hat that we are working at the moment. So this is the guy who invented. And I thought it would be a nice idea if we can have a look at this video. It's just 6 minutes. It's in two parts. So it's 12 minutes, but I really would like you to watch it, because is this guy actually telling you how he created. And again, it was the first time he was using Nuke, so it's really, really impressive. This video is from, have a look, 14 years ago. So it was way before many, many tools that we have, fancy tools right now, like way before, for instance, King tools, for instance, okay? So let's have a look at this. Wait, can you hear the sound? Because this is also very important. If you cannot hear the sound, it's going to be interesting. So let me just put also, just to make sure. Can you guys reply on the chat if you can hear the sound? I mean, no sound. Okay. So it's not something that you are going to need anyway, because I can just give you the link, but I thought it would be nice just to see if we can share this. So mains. Yeah, I'm not used to share sound, as you can see, because usually it's not necessary. So let me see if I can do something. Okay, let's see. Still no sound. Well, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry, but no worries. I'm going to do something so you can actually watch it whenever you like. So let me just get rid of this. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So the link is in here. So first of all, it's on Foundry channel. So you can, and you should subscribe to this. So I'm going to copy this link in here. And I'm also going to copy the second part that is here on the top. Have a look at the video. I mean, I'm just going to quickly just go through a bit, but in here he explains how to do the reflections in the eyes. You can see on the screen, Robert Downey Jr. So this was Dave was working at the orphanage, a company that sadly uh, is not in the business anymore. They created amazing work. So, in the chat you have both the links, the first and the second part. So you can have a look whenever you like, okay? It's just 12 minutes, okay? It works. So what I can say is the methodology I'm going to use is actually the same methodology he used for creating the effects, but I'm going to improve the technique by using the tools that we have today that he couldn't have 14 years ago. So let's open the script. Here you are. Version 2. So today is the second day of this script. So let's see, because I'm taking very seriously the thing that I don't touch the script from 1 week to another, and the stream, as you can see, I have other things that I'm dedicating my time more than the streaming. Maybe I should allocate more time, but yeah, the thing is, like, I like this to be raw. I don't want to pre-bake or make it beautiful, or I just want this for you to feel the experience of what is me without preparing anything. So I'm just going on the fly. Yeah, I'm just to be clear, I never completed. This is not a production shot, so I never complete. It's just from my training materials. So I never created this shot in order to be finished. I just approach a few things, but what I'm going to do here is just going towards a way of completing the shot. So last week we created the face. So here you are, the face, and we animated the face. Here you are. So I'm aware that the face of this model is not matching the face of the actor that we have in here. That is something that I don't mind much, because I'm not going to do operations of representing the face, or I'm just going to use very loose relighting, using mixing the characteristics of the plate. So for me, it's going to be good enough. If you want to create the face, I will suggest you to have different perspective views of the actors that you can do either with the camera or with a photo camera, and use stills, whatever you want. But in here, I just use the footage also to showcase that everybody can do everything in a perfect pixel result if you have everything you need. But we know very well that in the real world, not always you have everything you need, and you need to be creative. So this is why I'm doing this. I want just to showcase what happens when you have the real life constraints, that you don't have everything that you are supposed to have. So how to surpass those obstacles, that is what is interesting, is problem solving. So this is the face tracked to this camera. The camera is at a certain position that we put in here, that I'm going to say that is going to be good enough. Okay. So now it is going to be time to start with the actual setup of the relighting. So we are going to do relighting, but not the usual relighting that you do in the 2D. This is going to be lighting. So it's going to use light from the actual 3D system. That, by the way, in Nuke is going to change very, very soon. Right now it's a hybrid because we have the new system in beta, but very soon we are going to have a super cool one. So I'm going to use the first two, just because why not? Well, I'm going to start even with one. I'm going to start with two. So This is going to be the setup of my face. Everything that is going to be relative to the face needs to be there. But what I'm going to create first of all is the setup to put these elements. Okay, so I'm going to put this in a card. Okay, it's going to be, of course, in the center, and I need to put those two into context in order to play with those two. Yeah, the card is slightly far, I will say. Good. Can we move everything? Well, actually, yeah, you can, but I'm just going to do it this way. It will be actually easier if I move everything to this place here in the center. So, can I, without breaking anything? Well, let's apply an axis. Camera and transform geo. Here you are. To the same axis. Now I'm going to move the pivot point. To ensure it is in the right place. Okay, good enough. And now let's move it. They have different factors. So I'm not going to play with any of this. I'm going to leave it where it is. In any case, I mean, I could reset. It's all based on the camera, and the result is just based on that. But I'm just going to leave it without any transformation. So my center is just going to be around here, but I prefer instead of just playing with the other things. So the card is around there. Okay, now the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to use a light, because I want this element to emit light. So I'm going to use a light. Well, I'm going to call it from here. 3D, classic, light. So this is going to be my light, and the color of my light is going to be the same color that this is emitting. So the only thing that I want from here is the alpha channel. So I'm going to create a constant. And I'm going to place this in here. Okay. And this is the format. Yeah. Okay. Now, the light and the constant, I'm going to share the same color. To do that, I'm just going to link those two. So I'm going to make the light to have, no, actually not. I'm going to do it the other way around, because I prefer to see the color in here. In any case, it's exactly the same result. I'm going to split that. And now what is important is this card that I move to a certain position. If I move it like that, in this way, it's going to be really difficult to match the position of this light. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to put this in here, and I'm going to create an axis classic, and I'm going to place this in here, and I'm going to remove this set to default. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make the transform geo, here you are, axis, and the light can be actually looking directly to the axis. This way, what I have is, as you can see, I'm going to select this. So as you can see, the card and the light are actually on the same plane. And if I want to move one or the other, see, I'm moving both at the same time. So whatever is going to move the card is going to move also the light. So I'm going to put this at a easy number. The proportions are very small. So something like that. Okay, maybe this is something we are going to change for sure, but just to have that. So what is the only thing that I wanted to do before is just the center of the transformation, because I want the cards to rotate around the head. I'm going to make the center of the transformation for this axis to be in the center of the head. There are different ways of doing this. You can do projections over a sphere. You can do whatever you want. In here, I'm just going to use a card. So I'm going to place the pivot here, center of the head. Maybe slightly here. Okay, good enough. Why this? Because look, when I'm going to rotate, everything is going to rotate from the center of the head, which is exactly what I want. Okay, so that's why before I wanted to put the whole setup at the center. So the center is already established, so I don't need it to create the axis movement, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, it's just one transformation more, just to be practical. Okay, so good. This is going to help me to visualize, but actually I don't want the card to be mixed with the light, because if not, I'm going to have the influence of the light in my card. So I'm going to have two different scenes. One is going to be for the lighting. The other is going to be for the actual elements of light. Those elements in here. So maybe here, yep, I have that. And now let's create a nice color for this. That is going to be, for instance, this blue. Okay. Let's pre-multiply. And here you are. This element that is in there, and in relation, maybe we are going to create a scene that is just for preview purposes. Preview. And this is going to have the scene with these cards. So scene. This is going to be elements. I'm going to call this heads up display elements. And this is going to be lighting. Okay. And now let's put a scene that is going to contain the face and the elements without the lights. And this is just for preview purposes. So preview. And because I don't want to have arrows going around, and I don't need to connect more arrows in there, I'm going to hide the arrows of this. Good. So here you are. I can even look through the camera, so I'm going to put also the camera connected in there. I don't like this arrow, so why not to simply copy the camera? That is just one element. It's not moving. It's not going to make my scene heavier. So let's have a look at how this thing is looking through the camera. Okay. Anything you want to change now is going to change in 3D. So I know that the distance maybe is good, so I'm just going to make sure, view this one. I'm going to put this in here. And now I'm going to make this slightly smaller. Something like this. Okay? So, as you can see, this is the face in 3D. I just need that. But if you want to get a fancy, a fancy element, maybe we can just create a projection. So, project 3D. And I'm going to put apply material. Let me put this. Oops. Put this in here. This. This is my camera, and this is the image. So at least I'm going to have like a little preview. Okay, so have a look. It's super different from the original when you see, but I guess it's going to be enough. Then you will see that you can actually modify the face, the sculpture of the face, but that is something we are going to do later. Okay, right now I just care about the setup. Okay, so this is my scene, this is my light. So this light is generating a certain lighting in there, and now yeah, this is the light that I'm having. Pretty cool. Okay, so things that we need to work first of all is in 2D. I'm not going to evaluate the 3D from the viewport because yeah, it's never a good idea, especially if you are mixing pixels with the original. So let's start by creating the basic setup of the script. Now I'm going to hide these arrows that are just going around. Let me just put this well organized, because this script is going to get messy very, very soon because we are going to have many elements. So, okay. Are you guys enjoying? People in the chat, thank you very much for being live in here, because you can watch it online later, but you decide to stay here with me, and I really appreciate it. I have been recording tutorials for a long time, and you feel lonely when you are recording tutorials because you are basically talking to the computer. And I love to talk to you. Even if I don't see you, I feel you. I feel that you are, and you react. So I really enjoy that. So thank you for being there. Okay, so this is the movement, assets, lighting, scanline render. And this reformat, I never use a constant as the background, of course never the background image, but I use a reformat because that is going to optimize the boundary box, in case you didn't know, but if not, you know it. So camera, I'm going to do the same. I'm just going to copy the camera just for the sake of avoiding arrows to be around, and because I have no plans to change. If I do, I just relink everything. So this is my scanline render. Okay, now let's see this. Okay. I'm just going to put an arrow in here. It's going to be tricky just to grab the arrows. So, camera, render, RGB. Okay. Now let's start playing with the intensities. Let's see what's going on. Camera. So, quadratic. For some reason, he's not reacting to, of course, because I'm using, no, it's not using anything, so, okay, now this is another visualization, interesting. Okay. This camera is not a classic camera. Sorry about that. Of course, I need a classic camera. I was distracted. I'm using the new camera that is not for the old style. So mixing the things. Yeah. And I'm, is red, and I have been using red cameras. I mean, red in the color, red cameras for a long time. So I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy the value. So camera, again, that is the problem of being in a transition. Yeah. Now, as you can see, Ken Tools was not a problem using the new cameras, but as soon as I use this scan and render, and I don't want to change the, the style. So I think that's it. Okay, the projection. I'm going to copy this in here, copy this in here. Copy this in here. The rest is practically the same. Okay. This should be but it's not. Okay, so let's see. I mean, I don't think this is altering in any way. Okay, today is a very interesting day. Things have decided not to work. Anyway, well, that is part of the job, so we are going to find a solution. So, this is the scene is coming with the face tracker. So, let's do something. Let's put a sphere. Let's troubleshoot this. So, it's a good opportunity for showing how I troubleshoot things when they don't work. So I have a suspect that maybe there is something in this face tracker or the face builder, because they have been using the the new camera. You know, I have a suspect. Okay, so let's see if that is the case. So I'm going to deactivate that. So I have a sphere that I'm going to place in front of the camera. So the camera is in here. Okay, so I'm going to put a sphere in that position. I'm going to place that in here. So I have in there my sphere. I have the camera. So the camera is seeing the sphere, definitely. So now I put this in here and I don't see the sphere. So let's put the material, basic material. Basic material. Now it's reacting. Okay, so now I know that nothing in there is creating the problem. Nothing in there is creating the problem. The problem is coming from this branch. So if I connect this, it's not reacting. Let's put the materials. So to apply the material, because I was using, of course, this, I'm just going to apply another material. And I'm going to put the basic material in here, and here you are. So I was not applying the material. Okay, well, I solved it. That is the important. So this is a nice way, just simplify things and just isolated the branch. So you just need to understand where is the problem that is coming from. Yeah, that happens. I'm a human being and I made mistakes. I didn't realize I was not using the basic material, where of course if you are using lighting you need to specify how the surface is going to react. Today I had a very long day and I think I'm getting a call also, so yeah, but I'm not going to justify anything. I just made a mistake and I accept my mistakes, so I'm even proud of them because it gives me the opportunity. That's why I'm making this. If not, I will prepare everything and I will look amazing like in the tutorials and everything. So that is not the points of this. So I'm going to remove now the specularity just to make things slightly like that. And as I said, I'm going to mix this somehow with the result because I want to create a relight effect. Okay, so let's put the process of relighting around here and the process of the original in here. So I'm going to mix this with this, but this is not a light pass that is a component of this, so I have to invent something. The way I'm going to invent is, first of all, I'm going to flatten this image in order to reduce shadows and just to make, like as I said last week, I'm going to try to simulate kind of an albedo. So I'm going to remove the lighting and just try to get a flat surface. So to do that, I'm going to reduce the contrast and I'm going to decrease a bit the gamma, so it's going to look also a bit flat. I'm going to leave the color in there. And the only way of doing this, I mean, in theory, yeah, you have to decrease the contrast, decrease the amount of light, so you flatten the image as much as possible. But the only way of actually seeing the result is just having a look at the result. So the base is, of course, in here. Soft light. And the base is the one on top. So yeah, this is going to be like the first approach. Now, as you can see, I can modify this, but as soon as I get like too bright, it's going to look a bit fake. So this is one way of creating that. Now, of course, as I need to give the light some sort of real ground of behavior. Right now there is no fall off and that is not realistic. I need to create like the inverse square law, okay, of the light. So I'm going to create the quadratic decay of the light. Now I'm going to give like you know, a good base for this light. The nice thing is like my axis is going to be in there. So what is the problem that I'm going to have in here? Is my temptation is going to be like reducing this, I mean, moving this axis in order to correct the thing. The problem is if I do that, I'm going to change the center. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create an array of axes. How do you say axis plural in English? I think it's axis. But I'm not sure. Put it in the comments so I can even learn English in here. So yeah, I'm going to put another axis, or maybe I'm just going to put that axis, but I'm going to use the second axis, this classic one that is going there. So the first axis is going to position the second axis. So if I move this second one, see, I can move it there. But if I change the rotation of the first one, the rotation is going to be there. Just this, guys, just this is super cool. Seriously. I mean, you can see that I'm changing the light in there. And again, I haven't touched even, I haven't started, okay? So this is just a preview. So I think it could be a nice idea just to find a nice temp key or something just to help me with this. So let's do the lazy key. And for doing the lazy key, the first key, I'm going to use Primat. That has a very nice the pronunciation of the plural of axis, I'm just reading in the comments, is accesses. Okay, accesses. It sounds strange, but anyway, it's good. It's good to be. The important thing is like, is you understand me, okay? By the way, I'm going to use this to show my respect to anybody that left their own country to move to another country in order to make the dream of becoming a visual effects artist to come true. You guys have my respect. I know what it is because I did that. I'm very happy of doing that, but it is hard. And that is something that maybe people that haven't experienced that never understood. We live in a global industry that is moving a lot based basically on tax credits and all of that. So we move a lot, and everybody that is moving, especially with the family, you guys have my respect. Okay, so, and also let's not even start with the question of the language, that you have to learn another language in order to be able to work. I have plenty of stories with the guy that is on the screen, with Aitor. We met, as I said, in Canada, in IMAX. He's a very good friend, an amazing compositor. And yeah, he started in there. It was the first time he was out of Spain. He was kind of terrorized of working with people giving instructions in other language. He's a very successful compositor, very, very good one. And that's it. That's life. We endure and we grow stronger together. So, well, in the meantime, I just did this. And so it was just a Primat automatic. This was just one click and just very, very lazy for this. So I'm just going to try to make it better by deleting a bit of this background. Just going to, yeah. I mean, this is not going to be a key. I'm not worrying much about that. But, if you can do it better with just a few clicks. So, yeah, why not? Here you go. So Miriam said that axis is Latin, which it is. So the plural is axes. That sounds makes more sense. I think that I use access on other times. So, but yeah, I have to admit that I'm not mother tongue in English, as you can clearly see or hear. And yeah, that is part of the learning. So I'm here also to learn from you. So thank you, Miriam. So okay, we have this. And this is going to be good enough, but let's make it better. I just can't. I just can't. It's something that those edges, I'm too old not to correct those edges. Not that I'm going to make them perfect, but it's just a question of honor. Okay, so. Oh yeah, someone said, "Oh, it's fine. It's fine to have other." Of course, it's fine. Actually, I'm super proud of that. That have my Spanish accent. That was a very good friend of mine, also a compositor, Cavs, who told me once, because I said, I'm concerned because my accent, maybe people doesn't understand me, don't understand me, or and he said, no, man, that is part of your character. Your accent gives you character, and that gave me another idea of how you look at yourself. Especially, I have to talk a lot in public, and I have to. There is another process that is happening in my brain every time I'm talking, because I just need to make sure I'm delivering the right words while doing other things, and that is something that native English speakers they don't, because they just speak, and that is something that I admire. So, but I'm super happy because it is another challenge. So it's very cool to be able to communicate with you in English, in Spanish, in Italian, by gestures, by showing you whatever is in the screen. At the end, there is something. We speak the common language of pixels, which at the end of the day, that is what matters. So before we start with the pre-multiplication and everything, so let's pre-multing here. Let's erode this. I'm going to hue correct. Oh, no, let's do something. I love to do this. When I want to do the super fast key with the setup, I just do this. For the spill, I use this, which is key light that makes everything black in everything that was without any kind of the spill. So this is an amazing way of getting rid of the green and making everything nicer. So now the only thing that I'm going to do, add a little bit of erode, just to enter a bit with that little bit of green that you have. Okay, and now we are going to simulate the thing that the light from behind should be like less intense. So I'm going to put something like, let's put, what can I put in here? It's because I'm thinking about the chin right now, so that's why you're going to see me hesitating, but let's fix the chin before. And to do that, I'm just going to put this. I'm going to put this in here. I'm just going to do something very bold because I don't I don't want to do roto, even if it's very simple and very fast. I don't like it. So I try everything possible and impossible in order to not to do roto. So here you are. And now, of course, you can see this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to crush those blacks. I know it's bad. Every time we crush the blacks, a fairy dies. But who cares? I'm going to destroy the image anyway. So let's destroy it with style. so yeah, let's try to destroy this with the offset in the black area. Sorry, yes, this is the highlights, the axis in here. Okay. Yeah, a fairy died right now. But because I'm going to be working with the relighting, I don't want to have even the other light bouncing around. Maybe the hair is going to be a bit too much. So let's do something. Procedural work. Ramp. And I'm going to use this ramp. That is going to work this way. So this ramp is just going to ensure of course the other way around. Exactly. I can even change the distribution. Here you are. So are we going to see this in the result? I doubt it. But yeah, look, with and without the mask. Here you go. See? So I'm recovering a bit of the hair. So maybe I'm recovering a bit too much of the hair. So I'm just going to grade this ramp. So oh, yeah, because I inverted, sorry. So lift. Just in order to compensate a bit, because if not, it's going to look like very weird. Okay? Good. The floating head. Good enough. So, this. So, this is going to be the lighting. Very cool. Of course, the lighting is coming with a bit of, this kind of filtering. So let's increase the anti-alias. Yeah, for the time being, it's going to be enough. Okay, so this is the first step in order to pre-visualize my element. The nose is a bit weird because I think maybe I should change the nose. Let me see if I can do something about that. Yeah, the nose is, yeah, there are things that I can improve in the result of the nose. So I'm going to improve this. And this, and this. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Maybe these have an improvement. Hmm. Hmm. So let me see. Ah, okay. Is the space below? Hmm. Okay, of course I need to retract this. I'm just evaluating. Should I just retract everything or should I just move? Because maybe it's just for maybe just got one frame that is it's not one frame. It's bothering me. But that is the purpose of this. So let's do it again. So let's let's do it again. Like again. Face tracker. Okay, camera, geo, background. This got there and this got there. So let's go to a frame. What was the frame that I was? This one. So this is going to be a good one to start. So let's align the face. Here you are. And let's see if this is working. See? It's working better, but it's not perfect. And because it's, the lighting is going to be a lot around that area, I prefer just to spend a bit of time with that. So this. The nice thing is like you can see how easy it is actually to correct all this kind of stuff. So the nose is now corrected. So let's reset. Let's see now. Almost there. So no, I'm just going to get rid of this node. Face track. I think this is now working much better. Let me see. Okay. Face tracker. Again. I'm just throwing the thing in order not to have any residual thing that maybe I'm forgetting. I mean, I already forgot so many things today, so I prefer not to risk and just getting. Someone is asking, so Vivek is asking, is there a way of retaining skin's natural specular while relighting? No, but we can fake it very well. You are going to see. So yeah, we are going to fake it and it's going to look like good enough. You will see when you have all the lights and we finish the relighting process, you're not going to miss that match. So align the face in here again. Okay, now the shape seems good. Yeah. Yeah. So then the features may not be completely perfect. So in here, for instance, you have a little misalignment. So you have two ways. You can try your best and match it, or you can put a blur. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it fixed it. Of course, you can do it with there are little misalignments, and there are always going to be little misalignments, okay? The blur, if it's like about this, it's not going to change. Actually, you need to soften a bit because if not, you are going to have like super hard edges in the areas that maybe you don't want. So it's up to you. Okay, I'm going to try to reduce to the minimum, something like that. And why is not a good idea to have like super hard shadows? Because you have already shadows in the original. So if you have like hard shadows, it's like applying the ambient occlusion over a CG that is already light. So no, it can have like a not good result. Okay, so this is the relighting. Now let's play. Let's play a bit with this. You have a bit of the light in the ears, which is kind of weird. Yeah, but it's logic, so it's okay. Now the thing is like let's keep moving things in here. Another thing that I can do with this thing is like I can move the element to the back. So this was the one moving. I'm going to use this also for moving. Too much. Yeah, this is what I mean. Can you see the concentration of the light? This is all relighting. Of course, we're going to see how to relight the eyes and everything, but right now this is just for starters, okay? So let's leave this at the element at the point 0 as we discussed, and just for having fun, just for seeing the match, I'm going to create another element. So this here, this time I'm going to use which one? This one. This one in here. And we are going to do exactly the same thing. Another light, but this time the light is going to have a different color. So I'm going to copy this with an expression, and this second light is going to have red color, for instance. So we have this element, and the light is going to have another element. So I'm going to copy this axis, I'm going to put it in here, and I'm going to attach it to the main axis, and I'm going to plug this in here. Now we're going to have something weird because it's a light made of two colors. It's looking very, very weird, but if I connect this with another axis there, I'm going to make more space for this. I told you this was going to be messy very soon. Okay, so we have this. And we need to somehow take it out in a scanline render. Just give me a sec. I just saw something weird. Camera. Why this is red? Again. I'm going to do something. I'm going to plug there. Just to be sure. So it's the same. Here you are. Now let's place this. We are going to use for this compositing, we are even going to use deep image just to showcase how to make the things go behind the head and just to have fun. So we are going to reproject everything. So this is going to be right now, this is a test. So the light is looking quite horrible because everything looks like plastic. So we made something real to look like plastic. So first of all, let's move the position of this. So I'm going to create another axis for this so I can just rotate it independently. So yeah, let's make this even closer. So okay, so I'm going to reduce by 0.5. So this is going to be 1. So they are at the same point. So here you are. Okay. Now let's move the other. Okay. And maybe the light is now a bit too much. So let's make it less intense because it should be like, this is not like a proper light. Of course, the amount of light in here, I mean, the amount of mass should influence. So this one, because it has way more elements of light, it should generate more lights. There is even a way that we can use the curves, the curve nodes that is in here, the curve tool, in order to calculate how much light this element should be generating over the face in relation to, you know, the amount of light. This is going to be helpful if you have like elements that are going to be dynamic, that are animated. So you can increase and decrease the amount of that intensity knob based on the amount of the animation. It's something very, very cool. So we can even play with that. I mean, if you are interested in seeing more about this, we can do like the last time. So you just put in the comments that, yeah, we are bored, we want another shot, or you are interested. I mean, I don't mind. I'm just here to comp. So whatever I comp is just, I don't mind. Okay, so good. So I think this is good right now in order to start working with the properties of that. But I'm going to make the red one is just too close. It's just bothering me. I'm going to make it further. So yeah, see, it's very dynamic. Okay. Yeah, let's do it like that. And I'm going to focus just on the light this time. So let's make this more realistic. Okay, so we can remove a bit of the base, of the original base. Remember that Nuke has a 32-bit color workspace, and that is like a lot. It's floating point, so it has like 80 octillion. It's like a crazy amount of color. So I can reduce in here like a lot, even the intensity. And as you can see, it's still going to recover from the light. So something that you can do is you can increase the light in there. You can play with the light even in here as a temp. See? The only thing is like if you improve in here the amount of light, you are bypassing how the light is going to react to the materials in relation to the amount. So it's a different thing. You can also play in here, and this is going to mix everything. So you're going to see different results. I'm not going to use the grade. The grade is more like a technical thing. Of course, if you use the multiply, it's just going to increase. But I can use the gain in here. Is the same thing with the ability of increasing contrast, for instance. Playing a bit with other elements, okay? So now what I'm going to focus in here is how the light is going to behave. So I'm going to play with this, with the specularity, for instance. Look, see, this is very, very fake. So I tend to have like the specularity really low, but you can help yourself a bit and increase very little. Then another thing that you can do is play with the shininess, how it's going to focus. You know, the minimum shininess and the maximum shininess is in order to recreate, you know, this element of plastic, you know, when the light is just going to focus on one area. So it's not bad that you have somehow a bit because the skin has a bit of that, but if you go and over exaggerate the effect, you're going to have a very strange face. It's going to look like a Barbie or Ken in this case. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay, you're going to see that as soon as I now increase the light, and I'm going to use a one single control for, well, no, let's not do that. But as soon as I play with the light, see, you're going to start having the plastic effect. So I'm going to reduce the shininess, the specularity in here. And in here. See, you can see in the nose. Okay. Then the diffuse, this is going to increase the amount of light because it's how it's going to behave in terms of the light. I'm going to leave it at 18, which is the regular gray. Once I have all the elements is when you are going to start playing with the, you know, the equalization of that. So for now, I'm going to return this to 1. I'm going to return this to 1 as well, because this is going to be more likely to be real. Even if it's not giving much light, it's actually working much better. So, I'm just evaluating what would be a nice move because we have 10 minutes, but I don't want to grab right now. So, in the meantime, remember that I'm going to preserve my the Master of Light that I have a 50% discount, and in here I'm going to talk also about many of the concepts that I am you know, giving in this streaming. But in the Master of Light you are going to have like the theory behind that. So in order to master the use of light, and even in this relighting. This and way more is like a masterclass. I will say that is one of the most beautiful tutorials that I have created. I'm very proud of that. So yeah, you have a 50% discount still for that. That is the code. Node by node. So I'm going to put it also in the chat. So if you are interested, you can just click in the note, so you can see in there. And also, if you want, I can help you with improving your career in any aspect. I think I have enough experience growing compositors. So I have been helping people from over 15 years to grow in their careers, and I'm very, very proud of each of my, I'm not going to say my students, but the people that I share what I have with them in order to improve with their careers. I'm very happy. Their success is my success at the end of the day. So I'm very happy for them. And if you want, I can help you grow in a one-on-one basis. So it's just you, me, and your questions, your problems, your whatever. And compositing, I can help you to increase or to discuss anything you want from any aspect. Actually, I will say that photorealism is the thing that I like the most, because it's is the gold for compositors. And many compositors just think that they have a good understanding of computer graphics, and that is great, but it's about photography. So it's photography, cinematography, understanding the medium. It's physics also, so it's optics. So I was very lucky to study all of that since I was a child. But that is a long story, not for now. So again, let's go back to the script, and let's start grabbing the session. So what I'm going to do now, I think, is going to be simulating a bit of the depth of field, okay? Just to understand if, the depth, the ability for that. So, that quite, I will say recently, even if it's not that recent, but we have Bokeh, the, formerly from Peregrine Labs, one of them, the most important defocus tool that is out there, and now you have it here included in Nuke X. So Bokeh is amazing because it can use also deep image. In here you can plug the camera. Here you are. So you can drive based on the camera the deep input. So it's based on that. The kernel is just going to be for the how it's going to distort the images. So the only thing is, like, in order to use the camera as a real world lens, you need to play with the lenses in here. So you are going to play with the f-stops, for instance, and everything that is in relation to the term. So you need to put also the focal distance. See? And just right here you are. So the aperture. So the f-stop, here you are. If I reduce this number, is meaning that you have a bigger aperture, okay? So you are going to have like more defocus. So it's actually is way easy to work for the defocus in optical terms as a photography. So you are actually going to behave every element in here in a photographic way. And look at this. The defocus is actually, interacting with the levels and everything, because it's coming. In case you don't know, it's coming the scanline render with the deep image by default. Okay, so that is something that is super super cool. So what you just need to do is just to connect the deep inputs in the same place, and you are just going to have that information in there. So this is going to be photographic. Of course, in here is I will need like a lot of streamings just for explaining all the photographic, and this is not for explaining this. Again, this is me comping, and so of course I'm going to explain what I'm doing because I have fun, but I cannot showcase every single point and every single decision sometimes, and just I need to assume that you are at least familiar with that. But look, why I believe it is important to simulate also the depth, because that is going to be strictly related with the amount of light. Right now, I just put on purpose a super, super open aperture, so it's not going to make much sense. But if you are working, and as a supervisor, I have the ability to do that, recording from the camera the f-stop, the focal distance, and all this data. When you, as a compositor, you need to do something like this, you are going to do it with, mathematical precision. And if you know the science, math is actually the language of science. So it's really easy. But if not, if you don't have the precision to understand that, at least you can actually get a very good understanding on how to replicate something. So when something is looking off, you can understand why it's not working, which is the most important thing. So we don't stop. When other stops, we are going to continue and succeed. So how am I going to put this thing in context? Is look what happens when I move the blue one. I'm going to do this. Let's move back. Oops, to the other. See? It's getting in focus, and it's getting more light. See? This is what I mean. Light and focus are going to react in the same way. So once you create a setup, everything is going to work without needing of fixing the elements one by one. So what I'm trying to create in here is a structure that is going to work regardless of whatever is going to be happening in the animation. So I'm going to create something universal. And every time I'm doing a script, I always try to create something universal from scratch. And maybe I'm not going to use it anymore. But if you work with the logic of working on something universal, it's very easy that you are going to learn how things are going to work in universal terms. So that's why I never try to finish one shot. I want to finish all shots in the world in one go. And yeah, that's why sometimes it takes me more time than expected for doing things. But of course, you need to know when you can do that and when you don't. But it's about attitude. Okay, being an artist is a privilege. Use it and enjoy what you are doing and feel what is the privilege of being paid for producing art. Okay, so with this, I'm already creating things in here that are breaking because of the defocus and stuff. Yeah, because I moved that a bit over the top, I guess. Yeah, because I changed the aperture. But here you are. It was kind of a bug or something. So I'm going to go 5, 6. Okay, 5.6. And here you are. So you have a sense of depth in here. So next week, I think I'm going to start working on the level of focus, the reference, and we are going to take it from there. I'm sure I'm not going to remember anything as this week. Hopefully, I'm going to be more lucid because the problem of doing the streaming after a whole day working is like I'm carrying the the tiredness from the whole day. So maybe one day I can even stream at other times for people in other in other time zones. So maybe I can do here. I wake up like really early, so something like 5 or so to start working. I love to work in the morning. So maybe one day I can do a streaming at 6 GMT, which is, I don't know what time is it in other areas because they are in the whole world. So all the times in the world. So yeah, but maybe it's going to be more convenient from my friends from India that I know there are many in here, and I thank you all. Thank you very much for being here. Even because it's a big stretch from for many of you. So thank you very much. I'm going to save this script. Yeah, that's going to be all for this week. Yeah, thank you very much for being here. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'm going to see you next week, as usual, on Tuesday at 7 GMT. Okay. Until then, this has been Victor Perez for Note by Note. Thank you and have a good one. Bye.